Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Fighting the Fixed Destiny. Mary's Levin. We're doing the best.
宇宙に私と同じ力を持つ精霊が、カラチヌがいる。
I was gonna say, we're on the best ending now. We're going to be doing Merenice's endings today, starting with this one, which is the best one. And then we will go to two save files. Actually, there's the best end, the good end, and then there's two other endings. And it's really weird how you create a save file in the middle of another save file to go to the good end. Usually they're already pre-saved, but there was only 1 and 2. But then we're going to go back to 2, and we're going to make a third in the middle of it to get the good end. And then the third save file will lead to a bad end. And then save file 1 will lead to another end, which I am not going to say anything. I'm not going to say what it is. So, yeah, let's continue. Merenice examined the map he was given and gazed longingly at the night sky. His gaze resembled the way of the girl from the Popopi tribe who prayed to the heavens. He held hope for others like him out there.
私も行かなければ。
You're really going? Does that mean she's going too? Wait, are you really leaving?
ポポピーたちを放ってはおけません。彼らはカラチヌの星に行く日をずっと心待ちにしていたのです。
I'm sorry, but this seems like a bit sudden. Like, he's been longing for her this whole time. But then a couple of guardian spirits will come along and he's like, you know what? Bye. I'm leaving.
何より私は私と同じ力を持つ存在と会ってみたいのです。
But
ずっと思っていました。どうしてこの力に目覚めたのだろうと。運命が見えないことに憧れていました。カラチヌなら私のこの力をどうにかしてくれるかもしれません。それにこのままではどちらにしてもエリア52に連れて行かれるかギャングに利用される運命になってしまいそうですから。
he smiled with determination, his familiar gentle expression. He had made up his mind, recognizing that sharp pain consumed me. Pain was agonizing, suffocating, but why? I intended to leave him for Celestia, but I heard that Popopi myth. I thought I was destined to return to the stars like the Cartaginu. But he was the one destined to return to the sky instead. The thought of losing him was unbearable. If he left for the Cartaginu planet, our paths would never cross again.
リネット、どうして泣いているのですか？
Huh? His surprise made me aware of my own tears. I wiped them away and met Merenice's gaze. When our eyes met, I finally understood. I couldn't stand losing him.
やはりここの店のものが格別ですね。毎日こうしてあなたと一緒にいられたらどれだけいいでしょうね。ええ、あなたのその笑顔が見られて本当に嬉しいです。今はやるべきことがあるのです。大切な女性の悲しむ顔は見たくありませんから。
Yeah, see, he says that, and he's like, I have to leave. So many memories came back to life. From the sight of him enjoying donuts to what he did for Chi, the images of his smile being with me appeared and vanished. Now I was certain. I didn't want us to be separated forever. I wanted to see his smile. That realization was clear. I had fallen for him. Don't go. he realized it too. He's like, kiss, must kiss you. Oh, did she do that? But the way that it looks like he came onto her. Whatever, it's fine. I held onto his sleeve in an attempt to stop him. I felt him stiffen.
Lynette.
Please, Merenice, don't go to outer space.
どうして
I love you. I just realized that I have feelings for you.
Huh?
He opened his eyes wide. He was completely taken by surprise by what I said. I've always been vague and avoided the topic. Not expecting this declaration from me, he seemed to be at a loss for words.
私もあなたといたい。ですが。
His attention shifted to the sky. It was the first time I'd seen Merenice so flustered. He struggled to respond, even though he'd expressed his desire to be with me and his affection for me. Perhaps it was because he discovered that I was a god. The only reason he couldn't see my destiny was my divinity. He grasped that I wasn't his destined partner. The confusion likely stemmed from my own uncertainty about my feelings. Yeah, I guess so. As Cupid, I understood better than anyone that he didn't have romantic feelings for me. It was simply a misinterpreted emotion arising from the revelation of my godly status. That was the truth. I'm sorry for causing you so much trouble, Merenice.
そんな困るだなんて。
You want to go to Cartagena, right? I understand, so don't worry. The moment I learned of love, I lost it too. He showed me what it felt like to harbor love in my heart. He gave it the sort of happiness of seeing someone you love smile. But I want to kiss you one last time, can we?
リネット。
With some hesitation, he placed his hand on my cheek. His hand was warm and gentle, as I remembered. Okay, so he got the pre-kiss CG before the kiss. I placed my hand over his, wanting to imprint the warmth of Merenice into my memory. I wanted to hold on to the memory of my first love, allowing it to continue my existence as a god. Slowly, I leaned in and our lips met. Oh. Though we had shared numerous kisses, this one felt the saddest. A cherished kiss, a farewell kiss. Aww, that sounds so sad. Huh? Uh-oh. Our Cupid's arrow broke. Oh no! Suddenly, my Cupid's arrow necklace fell off from my neck. Cupid's arrow, divine artifact, was destined to always return to its owner. It shouldn't just fall off.
No.
You could see her destiny. Merenice? I went to pick up the necklace and put it in my pocket, but Merenice had frozen as if he just saw something horrifying. He grabbed my shoulders, staring intently above my head.
そんなあなたの運命が見えるようになってしまった。
Huh? The necklace's fall and newfound vision of my destiny pointed to a singular, startling conclusion. I am no longer a god. I had heard about this somewhere before. When Cupid falls in love, they will no longer be a god. It was a rumor I'd heard in Celestia. Was it actually true?
Owen! いたぞ!
こんな時に
I know, they were having a moment. Our pursuers had located us. The color drained from Merenice's face. He grabbed my hand and started running.
リネット、私から離れないでください。
He sounds so different now that he's like prince status. Like his way of speaking has changed. He has more emotion in his speaking. Like before, I always felt like he was kind of dull. Like he had the same monotone lines and stuff. And he didn't have very much personality, but ever since he became a prince, and he's been fluctuating. The voice acting has changed. Wait, I'll be the decoy. Merenice, head to Balto Tower while...
できません。
Why not? He had chosen to leave me behind to go to outer space. I tried to understand his reasoning, but Merenice just frowned in pain.
私をかばってあなたが撃たれる運命が見えたのです。
Oh, yeah, you don't want her shot. Oh my goodness. Huh? Me shot with a gun?
初めて見えたあなたの運命はあなたが死ぬ運命だったのです。私はあなたを失いたくありません。こんな運命決して迎えさせはしない。変えてみせます。
Merenice gripped my hand firmly as we kept running. He had been discussing traveling to the Cartagena planet just a while ago, but now he was determined to alter the future for me. His hand felt incredibly warm.
彼女を死なせるものか。
We returned to the car we left behind earlier, and I sped through Lost York with her behind me. But that looks like your van, not the car you took from your parents. I believed that grim future wouldn't come true as long as she remained with me.
おい待て、止まらないと撃つわ。
We could hear our pursuers gaining on us, but I ignored them, focusing on the futures of the others around us.
彼らは右に曲がる運命。
So a left turn should give us an escape route.
捕まって。
I turned the steering wheel, hearing the tires screech. But this move didn't alter the destiny of them chasing us. The path might differ, but that future seemed set.
それでも私は彼女を失いたくない。絶対に。
The fate I glimpsed earlier haunted me, her lying on the ground, bathed in blood. Their shots rang out, and I instinctively glanced over at her. She was not shot.
頭を低くして隠れていてください。
Okay. It would be alright. She was shot in the street somewhere. At the very least, that wouldn't happen if she stayed inside the car. But I didn't know if that future might shift. I kept driving recklessly, pushing the looming fate away. Memories of our time together flooded in my mind. I loved how happily she ate donuts. I loved how she would be surprised looking at a bonfire.
そして本気で運命が見えてしまう私を気遣い気にかけてくれていた彼女の優しさが好きだった。私は決して運命が見えないから彼女を愛したわけじゃなかったんだ。
I thought I knew that, but now the realization ran deeper. She'd shown me the beauty of love. Our bond had healed my wounded heart. I had gotten used to solitude, but she shattered that, taking it all away. I couldn't picture life without her.
それなのに私はカラチヌの星へ憧れて彼女を傷つけてしまった。
I made her cry. I reached for the glitter of the stars rather than for her. It reminded me of the Cartagena who left the Popopi girl to return to the stars.
けれどもう今はカラチヌの星へ行けなくなってもいい。彼女を守れるなら。
She unlocked my heart. I couldn't lose her. I had to fight this destiny. I drove on, constantly watching the destiny, hoping to escape the cruel fate. It would be alright. I could alter destiny on my own. No, I would. I would do it no matter what.
そこを飛びますよ。捕まって。
That's a staircase. Defying fate, I floored the gas. Even without divine intervention, I possessed the power of the Cartagena that should allow me to rewrite destiny. Ah! Our car soared, distancing us from our pursuers. This marked my first attempt at confronting the so-called fixed destiny on my own, all to protect her. I like this new Merenice. He's so determined. We continued to run away from the CIA, gangsters, and investigators from Area 52. After coming all the way to the coast, we succeeded in evading their pursuit.
逃げ切れましたね。
I thought I was going to die. He jumped downstairs, navigated narrow alleys, and sailed over countless ramps. It felt like a cinematic high-speed chase. So, what's the destiny like now?
あなたの運命は。
Randy stared at me for a moment. He tried to look for my destiny with the expression he showed as a fortune teller. He continued for a while longer, then teary-eyed, he broke into a smile.
運命を変えられました。
Really?
ええ。もうあなたが打たれる運命は遠い彼方へと行きました。
Can you imagine, like, she asks to kiss you and you kiss her, and then all of a sudden you look above her head and she's lying dead in a street? Like, that's gotta be devastating. I can understand his reaction.
よかった。初めて運命に抗えた。
Merenice sunk to the ground exhausted. I crouched down next to him. Thank goodness I'm still alive. But how did you change it? I'm no longer a god. He didn't touch me, and I had no more powers, yet Merenice was able to change destiny. I didn't know how, and I looked up at his face. He just forced out a smile, obviously not knowing why either.
わかりません。でも、多分私とあなたの運命を交わらせたからだと思います。
He held my hand tightly, just like when we first met.
あなたから離れないと心から誓いました。だから私の運命とともにあなたの運命も塗り替えられたのでしょう。
Then...
ええ。私はカラチヌの星へは行きません。あなたと共にいます。
Yay! He smiled gently, still wearing the Cartagino outfit fashioned by the Popopi. It really suited him. I know, right? Hopefully he gets to keep it. The Popopi called them their prince. I remembered how he seemed to long for the stars so much. Yet he expressed a desire to remain in Lost York, in the city I adored. Are you sure? I cautiously asked him.
はい。あなたと一緒に時を過ごしていきたいですから。
Even knowing I might not be your fated partner.
いえ、私の運命の相手はあなただと思っています。運命が見えても見えなくても。
Merenice, the destiny parasite, had longed for someone whose destiny he couldn't see, and he smiled at me, not caring about destiny at all.
最初は確かに運命が見えないから惹かれました。でももう関係ありません。あなたが私を変えてくれた。運命が全てではないと思わせてくれたのです。あなたの運命ごと私はあなたを愛しています。だから私はあなたを守りたい。それが一番の望みです。
Merenice. I hugged him with all my might and he caressed my hair.
先ほどは泣かせてしまって申し訳ございません。
It's fine. It's fine. Because he chose to remain with me, my tears were of joy now, not sorrow. Everything I did from that moment would likely make it entirely clear to him. Still, I chose to voice my feelings. Merenice, I love you.
私もです。愛しています。
We really started to embrace and looked deeply into each other's eyes. Our gazes met, and I felt a certain premonition. Closing my eyes, I waited for a kiss. Oh my goodness. But then I heard some quick running footsteps and immediately opened my eyes.
Merenice 様、大変なのです。
ポポピ。
Merenice turned around with a troubled look. He seemed so calm, like he expected this.
申し訳ございません。 私はやはり一緒に行けません。
来ないのですか？
はい。この地球には私の愛する人がいますから。
でも地球にとどまっていたらエリア52の人たちがきっとメレニス様を狙うのです。そうなのです。というかまさにエリア52の調査員がポポピーたちを捕まえようとして迫っているピーノです。
ポポピーたちを。
さっき見つかってしまったのです。ポポピーたちがここにいると気づいて追いかけてきたのです。
助けてください、メレニス様。
早くカラチヌのもとへポポピーたちを連れて行ってください。
Merenice. Merenice looked at the Popopi and thought to himself for a while.
宇宙船の軌道には私の力が必要なのですよね。
そうなのです。トウモロコシで作った燃料を積んでありますが、軌道だけができないのです。ポポピーたちだけでは宇宙船が飛びません。
It's filled with corn. It's funny.
ポポピーたちが空へ帰るにはカラチヌの力が必要なのです。
I wonder if Lynette's gonna go with him. I can see her doing that.
ですが起動さえしてしまえば私がいなくてもカラチヌの星へ飛べる。つまり私は起動時にいればよい。Right?
それは確かにそうですが。
わかりました。起動はしましょう。ただし私は一緒には行けません。起動してから私が降りる時間ぐらいはあるでしょう。
それは他のポポピーを呼び寄せる分の時間はありますが、でもそれじゃメレニス様は。
私なら平気ですよ。どんな困難が待ち受けていたとしても運命を変えてみせますから。
He confidently smiled, determined to create his own destiny rather than merely following its flow.
私は共に行けません。それでもよければ力になりましょう。あなたたちをカラチヌの星へ返すために。
メレニス様、こちらです。
That explains why it's so fancy and odd-shaped. The spaceship.
お急ぎください。奴らが来ます。
He rushed alongside the Popopi, running up the stairs of Bethel Tower. Just as the Popopi warned, we spotted the Area 52 agents in pursuit of the fleeing Popopi. Will they be okay?
大丈夫です。あのポポピーはおとりに走っているのです。
おとりに。
ポポピーにはテレパスがあります。宇宙船が起動したらすぐにみんなが集まるようにしてあるのです。
大丈夫です。ポポピーは本気を出せば飛べるのです。飛び乗ればへっちゃらです。
そうですか。でも捕まってしまったら大変です。急がなければならないようですね。
It has a cockpit. I mean, it's a spaceship, but still, like, he's been in this tower for how long? He's never noticed this. We kept running until we reached the cockpit where more Popopi awaited. Wow, it's really a spaceship.
メレニス様、よかった。来てくれたのですね。
すごい。これを ポポピーたちが作ったのですね。
はい。何年もかけて作っておいたものを設置したのです。今年はカラチヌの星が近づく年でしたから。星が近づくのはもういよいよです。それではメレニス様、操縦席にお座りください。このクリスタルに触れれば起動できます。
Popopi gathered near Merenice, their eyes filled with hope. But Merenice shook his head and gently pulled them away.
申し訳ございません、ポポピーたち。私は一緒には行けません。
メレニス様、そんな、どうしてですピー？
愛する人がこの星にいるからです。
Merenice. Merenice softly wrapped his arms around my shoulder, smiling at the Popopi.
彼女を愛しているのです。だからとどまるのですよ。私はおとぎ話のカラチヌとは違いますから。私はカラチヌとポトピの娘の子の末裔です。この星が私の暮らすべき場所、私の故郷なのですよ。カラチヌの星には憧れますが、きっと私のいるべき場所ではありません。だから行けません。
メレニス様。
ですが安心してください。この宇宙船の起動はさせますから。さあ、宇宙船の操縦席に座るのはあなたですよ。
Merenice lifted the first Popopi we spoke to, the one that seemed most likely the elder. He sat it on the pilot's seat and offered a donut.
どうかお元気で。
メレニス様。
The Popopi gazed up at Merenice with a sorrowful look, but accepting the inevitable, it took the donut.
わかりまぴた。メレニス様がそれを望むなら。短い間でしたが、メレニス様に会えて本当に嬉しかったです。
私もです。あなたたちに会えてよかった。起動しますよ。
はい。
Merenice laid his hand on the crystal. The crystal illuminated and the sound of an engine rumbled to life. The tall tower began to glow and shake.
起動できまぴた。30秒後には離陸します。
You better hurry up and get off.
ではお二人ともお急ぎください。
Yes, goodbye everyone.
さよなら、ポポピーたち。カラチヌによろしくとお伝えください。
さよなら、王子様。
さよなら、ありがとうございまぴた。
You guys just spent 15 seconds saying goodbye. We dashed down the complex staircase. As Bethel Tower readied for takeoff, we hurried it to the ground floor. Also, we can stay in our beloved Lost York. Merenice never looked back. We made it. Reaching the ground, a loud sound echoed. The stairs we had just descended began to float up. I looked back to see Bethel Tower gently rising. It left the ground hovering in a manner beyond any human technology. All of the Popopi that were scattered all over Lost York started to fly towards the tower at once. It looked like an array of shooting stars. I thought I saw the Popopi far up, wave at us right before the spaceship suddenly accelerated away.
さよなら。
They all returned to where the car- Oh. Oh, no, it went back. No, we lost his outfit and his hair. They all returned to where the Cartagena was, far away beyond the sky, together with Merenice's whisper. No, he's back to normal. When the spaceship vanished from view, a large crop circle marked where the tower had stood. In the concrete? The stars twinkled far away in the sky. The darkness of the night slowly enveloped everything. Soon the starry sky melted away with the morning sun. The remnants they had left behind simmered beautifully in the sunlight. A few days after the Popopi departed, I was gonna say, if that was all of it, it was like a good ending for the Popopi, and they were kind of an afterthought. Merenice. I waited at Modo's for Merenice. As he walked in, I rushed over and gave him a big hug.
ただいま。戻りました。リネット。
He said I'm home in the donut shop. Thank goodness you're safe and sound.
心配かけてしまい申し訳ございません。でも、無事に力を失った証明ができましたから。もう大丈夫ですよ。
His powers are gone? Yes. After Merenice activated the spaceship, it seemed he drained all his powers, causing him to be unable to see destinies. The Area 52 investigators were skeptical, so they took him to Area 52 for a few days to confirm it. But now he was back, evidence that he genuinely lost his abilities. Well, that's good for him, I guess. On the day that we watched the spaceship fly away, Merenice had gasped when he saw my face.
あれ
Well, what's wrong?
あなたの運命が見えなくなっています。
It disappeared with your good clothes and your good hair. Huh? Does that mean I've become a god again?
神に戻る
When we kissed, my Cupid's arrow came off, and that let you see my destiny, right?
ええ。確かそうでしたね。
I thought you began seeing my destiny because I wasn't a god anymore. But my Cupid's arrow is still off.
メリニス・レビン、ようやく見つけた。
He's so out of breath. Whoa.
あなたはエリア52の。どうして私の素性を。
ポポピーたちから聞いたのです。
ポポピーってあのピーピーなくユーマですか。彼らはどこに。
ポポピーたちはもういません。宇宙へ帰っていきましたから。
なんだって。
The Area 52 agent finally spotted the crop circle on the ground.
これは他の調査員にも連絡をしておかなければ。
As the investigator stepped aside to make a call, Merenice tilted his head, his eyebrows still furrowed.
妙ですね。あなただけでなく、彼らの運命も見えません。
But does that mean you don't have the power to see destinies anymore?
そうですね。他の通行人の運命も見えない。
Once the Area 52 agent ended his call, he approached Merenice.
メリニス・レビン、あなたも私と来なさい。エスパーはデータ登録されなければなりません。そのように法律で定められているんですよ。この世に混乱を招かないように。
I was about to say, does he even have the authority to take him away? But I guess if it's law, then.
そんな法律聞いたこともありませんが。
Or maybe he's lying.
隠されていますからね。だが実際にあなたは混乱をもたらした。その力を悪しきことに使ってしまったから。ギャングがあなたを狙っています。保護のためにも我々と共に来てください。
ですが、どうやら私にはその超能力がなくなってしまったようなのです。
なんだと？嘘をつくな！カジノで俺らは大負けしたんだ。そんなはずないだろ。今の話は本当ですか？
Wow, there's so many of them. All the people who had been hunting Merenice began to gather. Merenice just smiled, not a hint of fear on his face.
申し訳ございません。宇宙船を起動するのに力をすべて使い果たしたようです。
宇宙船？
そこにミステリーサークルがあるでしょ。これは宇宙船が飛び立った後です。私の力でその宇宙船は起動しました。その後から私は運命が見えなくなってしまったのです。なので多分カジノで勝つことはもうできないと思いますよ。
では我々の研究所に来て一応検査をしていただきましょうか。
そうですね。本当に超能力が消えたのか調査する必要がありますし。
そうですね。調べていただいて本当に超能力が消えたのならあなた方も納得するでしょう。
They got the police after them and everything. Several cars pulled up and a crowd of Area 52 investigators emerged. Simultaneously, the police and FBI arrived, making the gangsters scatter.
ではご同行願えますか？
かしこまりました。
Merenice, I'm coming with you. I wanted to accompany him, but he gently hugged me.
大丈夫ですよ。彼らが本物だというのは前に見た運命で分かっていますから。彼らの仕事はエスパーの把握、管理です。それ以外の人間を相手にするはずはありません。だからこれからもあなたと共にいるためにきちんと力が消えた証明をしてきます。待っていてください。
You know, they could have probably just recapped this instead of going through all of it. With that, he left with the Area 52 team. 3 days passed before I saw him again. As I celebrated Merenice's return to Lost York, someone whistled from behind us.
暑いなあ、お二人さん。
恋人同士ですから。
よかったわね、リネット。毎日今か今かとメレニスのこと待ってたものね。
Claire, that was supposed to be our secret.
待っていてくれたのですか？
Of course, I was terrified. What if they imprisoned him because his power still remained? These fears consumed me. I constantly sought guidance from Lady Minerva on what to do if that happened. It seemed Auntie briefly sent Chi to retrieve my Cupid's arrow, and then he went back to Celestia. According to Auntie, I was now human and no longer Cupid. Auntie kept watch from Celestia and confirmed Merenice's safety for me, but knowing this firsthand was a different matter.
そんなに強く抱きつかれたら苦しいですよ。
Oh, sorry, I just couldn't help it. You were at Mo Donuts and I blushed when I saw others staring.
にしてもほんとよかったわ。あなたがようやく恋をして。
That's what you're relieved about?
するわよ。一生しないんじゃないかって心配してたんだから。
Really?
ま、それは私もだけどね。
Paris put her finger over her lips like we were talking about a secret. I could tell from her eyes that she knew I felt the same way about her, but now she had Robin.
今度またダブルデートしましょう。
I can't wait. Hey, let's have some donuts.
そうですね。おすすめはありますか、ロビン。
そうだな。このシナモンとかどうだ？
美味しそうですね。では私はこれを。
Then I'll go with chocolate mint.
また予想が外れました。
He's very happy to be wrong. Oh, really?
ええ。相変わらず、あなたは予測不可能な人ですね。
Randy smiled as we enjoyed our donuts. The daily life I believe we never experienced again was right before us. Just sharing donuts filled me with so much joy. We left Mo Donuts after that and had an all-day date around Lost York, going around Lost York. The news that Merenice had lost his power to see destiny spread far and wide through a special network. Because of that, gangsters, the CIA, and others stopped pursuing him. We hope to restart our lives as ordinary people.
夜になってしまいましたね。
Yeah. I don't want to go home yet. We continued holding hands as we walked along the bustling 7th Avenue.
ディナー、美味しかったですね。
Yes. He suddenly fell silent and looked at me.
リネット。
Hmm?
いえ、あなたの名前を呼びたくなっただけですよ。
His smile was like a child who just pulled off their first prank.
やっぱり、今日はまだあなたと離れたくありませんね。もっと話していたい。今晩は一緒に過ごしませんか？
Oh, really? Oh. I felt my heart start to race at his invitation. I remembered Clarice mentioning her night with Robin at Dormer Paradise. It was natural to expect that two people in love might get intimate. I was well aware of this and nodded. She's like, yes, I'll go with you. The stunning city view was visible from the window. An unusual, palpable tension lingered between us. During our trip to Crunch Canyon, we shared a room every night without hesitation. But right now, I was uncertain about how we should rest or even approach the bed. We both just stood there beside each other, taking in the view.
綺麗な景色ですね。
Yeah. We looked at the night sky. Merenice's ancestors were somewhere out there beyond the stars.
ポポピーたちは無事に到着できたでしょうか？
Yeah, I'm sure they did. After all, they did create a remarkable spaceship. The Popopi had been searching for someone to operate their ship for a millennium. I was confident they'd returned unharmed.
人間と交わったカラチヌにも感謝しないといけませんね。
Why?
この力があなたと私を引き合わせてくれましたから。
Merenice took my hand and smiled.
私がこの力に目覚めなければ、あなたが神でなければ、今の時間はありません。この出会いは運命なのです。
He was right. If we never met, I never would have understood what love was. And this future might never have materialized. Yeah, a fateful encounter. I think that's the title of one of my thumbnails.
はい。でもこれからは自分で自分の運命を決められます。運命は確定していたとしても、私はそれを見られませんから。
Yep, now you have no choice but to go with the flow.
だから私はもうこれから好きに生きていけるのが嬉しいんです。
He squeezed my hand, his firm grip contrasted by his gentle smile. I could feel the joy in his heart, and I couldn't help but smile with him. So, what's the plan now?
そうですね。何をしましょうか。
He's like, I have a few ideas.
占いはもうできませんし。あ、キャンピングカーで旅でもしながらドーナツを作って売ったりしてみたいですね。
Selling donuts from your camper. That sounds like fun.
実はキッチンカー憧れていたんです。大好きなドーナツも作ってみたいですし。
And how about we practice making donuts together?
楽しそうです。
Merenice loved donuts so much that I considered him a connoisseur. I was confident he'd make some delicious treats. I enjoyed that moment, imagining what the future may hold, and then I felt his touch on my cheek.
あなたはこれからどうしたいですか？
Me?
前に会社を辞めようか悩んでいるとお話ししていたでしょ？
Oh, right. That's right, I have the freedom to decide my next steps too. I had lived my life as the god of love, Cupid. But now I was just a woman in love. The future was wide open. If you decide on the donut traveling adventure, can I come with you? He sounds like he didn't expect her question. Did you expect to go alone? I love donuts too. Traveling with you was fun, and I'm sure I'd be happy no matter where we are, so long as we're together.
リネット。
I didn't hear the words that came after that. Really? Is she like already in his lap? He gently pulled me closer, guiding me onto his lap. I guessed it right. There we were, on the bed with me positioned above him. He held me close, his kiss powerful. Pulled my head toward him, our fervent breaths escaping between intoxicating kisses.
あまり可愛いことを言わないでください。
But I meant every word.
本当にあなたという人はなんて愛らしい。
Oh my goodness, so many noises. His kisses grew more passionate, and I was unable to move. Our tongues intertwined, and my body shivered. I felt the sensation only one other time. I hesitated. Merenice, hold on.
なぜです？
A sweet gaze could peer directly into my soul.
こうなる運命ならあなたも知っていたでしょ？ Right?
I know, you went to his house knowing what would happen. Maybe, but knowing that something will happen and being ready were completely different things. He kissed my lips and my neck with affection, heating up my body even more.
あなたがあまりにも可愛らしいことを言うから我慢できなくなってしまったんです。あなたのせいですよ。
He untied my hair with his long fingers and ran his hand through it. As he traced my ear, I flinched slightly.
でも本当はもっと別の場所で言おうと思っていましたのに。自分で決めたことでもなかなか思ったようにいかないものなんですね。
What do you mean? I asked that between kisses as he caressed my cheek before kissing me again.
リネット、あなたに結婚を申し込みたかったんです。
Aw, I was wondering. I'm like, you expected to say what in a different place? Like, not in this house? Oh, he was talking about marriage. Huh? Aw, that's such a cute ring. A cold sensation encircled my ring finger. It was a ring. A ring?
実はエリア52から帰ってくる途中で買ってきていたんです。あなたに結婚を申し込むつもりで。そのためにロビンとクラリスさんに あなたの指のサイズを測ってもらっていたんですよ。知っていました？
I didn't. When had they done that? I could never really tell what Clarice and Robin were thinking. Seeing my surprise, Merenice smiled. His eyes were filled with love. That sweet gaze told me everything he was feeling.
リネット、これからどんな運命が待っていたとしても、あなたを守ると誓います。私にはあなたが全てです。どうかあなたの全てを私にください。私の生涯の伴侶になってほしいのです。
His intense gaze was directed straight at me. Those eyes which had once seen countless destinies were now solely focused on me. He was my prince who didn't return to the planet of Cartagena. He chose me over his homeland. There was only one answer. Yes. Immediately after I responded, our lips met. Our tongues danced, tears streamed down my face. I was overwhelmed by happiness of finally being together with him. Our future full of uncertainties lay ahead, still we had no fears. That's because I believed we could overcome any destiny as long as we stood side by side. Merenice could no longer see destinies, and I was no longer Cupid. Our future was an open book. Our hands intertwined as if in prayer, and we kissed. It wasn't a farewell kiss, but a promise of a shared future. Somewhere far away, I thought I saw an especially bright star shine. Aww, that was so cute. That was a nice ending. I would probably put that on my phone background too. That's a really good picture of him in the spaceship. There's a special story. What? It's an hour. It's been an hour for one ending. We have 3 more left to go. So long. I was gonna say something, I forgot. Probably something about the ending. the ending with them was really good. Like if you cut down the Popopi stuff by like 50%, it would have been a lot better. But there was just like it felt like that should have been tacked onto the last video, and then after the Popopi left in the spaceship, then we could start the good ending then, or the happy ending then. But that's not where they cut it off at. So we just went from where they did. Would you like to play the special story for clearing the Merenice Levin route? I don't know what the special story is. Can I can save here. Save it real quick. Because I have no idea. This is what I can overwrite. Best Merenice best 2. Let's say yes. I don't know what the special story is. Extra event.
Cupid Parasite, Sweet and Spicy Darling, Merenice Levin, Clear 記念 Story.
Well, hopefully this doesn't end up being too long, because if it's longer than 30 minutes, it can be its own video. If it's not, then I'm just going to leave it in here. But yeah, it's Merenice Levin. I guess let's see what it is. Alright. Extra event, Sweet and Spicy Darling.
もしもゼウスとシェアハウスをしたらその素晴らしさを味わわせてあげるわ。
Are you serious? We're putting Zeus in the share house now. Oh my goodness.
ねえ、ご飯まだなの？私もお腹減っちゃったんだけれど。
Okay, this is how I remembered Zeus. I guess because he was in like a human suit that he had a different hairstyle and all that, but huh, you just ate.
私ってば尊い神なんだもの。多くの捧げ物が必要に決まってるでしょ。
Person who introduced himself as Zeus moved into our share house 3 days ago. It all began with a roommate advertisement on a bulletin board at Lost York University. Given that the high rent in Lost York, all my friends stayed in shared housing. I reviewed the terms and chose to move in. Okay. I didn't expect such an eccentric roommate. She lives there? Despite the spaciousness of the place, my share of the rent was minimal. That should have set off my alarm bells. When we first met, I thought him as somewhat feminine and cute. That's why I decided to live here. He's fashionable and loves discussing style. He makes it fun, like a girlfriend. Okay. But then he started claiming to be a god. You know, aren't you a god? Don't you know who Zeus is? Being a real god myself, I had mixed feelings. Okay. But wait. Why do you have mixed feelings? How do you not know Zeus? Like, he claimed to be Zeus in the last episode, and you're like, oh, hail Zeus. When I vented about it to my friends, they called him a god parasite. Okay.
ほらほら、ご飯作ってってば。でないとまたキスをしてしまうよ。
Man, his voice, she's like, give me dinner or I'll kiss you. The self-declared god Zeus would attempt to kiss me whenever he had the urge. He rose from the couch, looking at my face. His long eyelashes, flawless skin, and beautiful lips were so captivating I caught myself staring. But I came to and pulled away, trying to keep him from kissing me. I think kisses should be saved for someone special.
別にいいだろう。減るものじゃないんだ。
You don't even like love. What is wrong with you? I do. His gender was usually ambiguous to me, but when he was overtly masculine, I couldn't keep up with my feelings at all.
ほら、愛らしい私の下僕よ。キスをしてあげるから、捧げ物を僕に差し出すんだ。うん。
He kissed me casually once again. The feel of those soft lips set my heart pounding instantly.
この僕の魅力に抗えないようだね。なら、わかってるでしょ?
I know, he's the one that came to Earth to seduce humans. Hey, dude, you want food, don't you?
よくできたね。
He caressed my chin as if I were a pet, prompting me to hurry to the kitchen. Who would have thought that I ended up with such a strange roommate? After getting into a fight with Dad, I came to the human realm. My prior sense of ethics crumbled away as I lived here. So this is instead of getting a roommate with Gil. If nothing else, the man who called himself Zeus certainly acted the part of the legendary character from Greek mythology. You can't sense like any divine aura around him, like you can sense that in every other route. But whatever. But unlike the Zeus of myths, he hadn't tried anything romantic with me. It was my duty as Cupid to try and guide humans like this to love, right? Right. While preparing the meal, I wondered what my next steps were. He wanted omelets, curry, and hamburger steak. Apparently he favored dishes that kids like.
やれやれ、ようやく支度に取り掛かった。それにしても、ここまで人間の食べ物が進化していただなんてね。2500年前にはなかったよ。本当はキューピッドの神聖をこの僕の立派なもので奪おうと待ち構えていたのだけれど。
I was wondering what his ulterior motive was.
あのキューピッドがあまりに僕を甘やかすものだからつい惜しくなったじゃないか。おかげでこの僕が人間の暮らしにこんなに夢中になるなんて。さすがにこのゼウスも予想していなかったわ。けれどこんなに美しい僕がいるのにあのキューピッドと来たら僕を欲しがらない。そこだけは気に食わないな。ああ、ならそのうちシンプルにこのゼウスのテクニックを味わわせてあげてもいいかもね。だってこの僕の魅力になびかない女などこれまでいなかったのだから、その前に食うなんてつまらない。でももう少しこの子供みたいな暮らしを堪能したいからね。しばらくは甘えさせてもらうよ。それってそのうち懇願して私にひざまずいて欲しがるようになるまでこの僕が可愛がってあげる。
I'm curious about how long this is actually going to take to record.
覚悟するんだね。僕の可愛いキューピッド。
If it lasts too long, I'll have to cut it out of the video. He's mumbling strange things again. All his mumbling were drowned out by the sounds of my cooking. I found myself thinking whether it would have been better to pay a bit more for a different roommate. Soon I realized his true identity as the almighty god Zeus. Soon. Took you long enough. The tale of experiencing those passionate myths firsthand will be for another time. Oh. Oh really? Zeus fin. Oh my goodness. That was the end. Another time, huh? I'm guessing we're not going to see that other time.
運命。それは私の生きる指針であり、一方で制約でもありました。予定調和の日々。穏やかには過ごせますが、心躍るような気持ちはもう得られないのだと諦めておりました。あなたと出会うまでは。そして知ったのです。願っても叶うかわからない未知の未来の苦しさを、楽しさを、素晴らしさを自らの力で掴んで 今あなたとここにいる。それでもあえてこれだけは言わせてほしいのです。あなたといることこそが私の運命です。私にはあなたが全てなのです。Right?
I kept waiting. I'm like, I know that it's the end when he says right. So, well, I'm glad I included that Zeus end because I would have been disappointed to find out it's only like 6 minutes and I'd have to shove it in somewhere in here editing. Anyway, that's the end for Merenice's good end. An hour later, we're going to go and load up save file 1. Let's see, best end. I don't want to go to the good end yet, so let's load save file 2. 2. Secret fork in... Okay. Never mind. Save file 2. Like there's a fork in destiny. Okay. So we're going to be going to the bad end. So we're going to load save file 2 and we're going to play it through, create the save file when it tells us to, but continue on to the bad end first. And then the secret end. There's a secret end kind of like the Zeus's end. There's another one. And then we're going to do the good end the last. I'm going to skip these though, because we've already seen them. There was supposed to be a choice. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Save file. Some random save file got thrown in the middle of this. So here's save file 2. We're gonna think about shoes. Let's see. Couldn't stay in the human realm. Wanted to visit other places before. Let's go together. Let's talk about going to Crunch Canyon, but we're gonna think about shoes for some reason. If we're heading to Crunch Canyon, we'll need the sturdy shoes. I tried to recall what I knew about Crunch Canyon from TV. The rugged landscape shaped by nature would ruin flimsy shoes.
それは一緒に来てくださるということですか?
Oh yes, let's go. Merenice looked so relieved as he let my hand go. I think this is still new. As she went to the office, I returned to Balto Tower for my regular fortune-telling. I sat on a bench and gazed at the sky, lost in thought.
不思議なものですね。もう何年も変わらなかった日常だったのに。
No, I think I remember that line. All I did was follow the course of destiny I could perceive. No deep thinking or decisions were involved. I would buy donuts in the morning, do fortune readings, then head home.
彼女と出会ってから、そのすべてが変わっていった。
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and skip then. Yep. And then we're going to say wanted to look into a mirror again. And then we're going to skip it again. We're going to say in the kitchen. Then skip it again. Even though I was still uncertain, I glanced at Merenice as I ran beside me. Okay, this is where we make a save for the good end. So, let's make a save. I'm going to do a brand new save file, so we don't get it confused. And then for the bad end, we're going to stand still. Merenice realized I had stopped and turned to be tilting his head.
どうしましたか? 一刻も早くカジノへ行かなければ。共に最善を尽くしましょう。
I'm gonna skip until we get new content. Alright, now we're in the bad darling ending, the crop circle. Oh my goodness. Well, at least she was saved. So they went...
宇宙に私と同じ力を持つ精霊が、カラチヌがいる。
The good news is that she was still rescued and he still went back to Celestia. That's what I was going to say. Merenice studied the map and then gazed up at the night sky, filled with longing. I'm not sure how much of this is going to be the same. Let's see if we can skip. Guess not. Okay, I can't skip anymore. What would that say? He looked up just how a girl from the Popopi tribe. Okay, we read that in the last one. Wait, are you sure about this?
ポポピーたちを放ってはおけません。彼らはカラチヌの星に行く日をずっと心待ちにしていたのです。
I bet you she gets shot. I bet you his destiny of seeing her shot comes to pass.
何より、私は私と同じ力を持つ存在と会ってみたいのです。
But
ずっと思っていました。どうしてこの力に目覚めたのだろうと。運命が見えないことに憧れていました。カラチヌなら私のこの力をどうにかしてくれるかもしれません。それにこのままではどちらにしてもエリア52に連れて行かれるかギャングに利用される運命になってしまいそうですから。
He smiled with determination. It was his gentle, familiar expression. His mind was made up. Since we just saw this, I kind of just want to skip because it seems repetitive at this point. Okay, never mind. She says don't go in the last one, I'm pretty sure. So now she's saying, alright, then let me see you off.
ありがとうございます、リネット。
She's not saying, wait, stay with me. Merenice turned to the sky and I saw that his expression was filled with hope. He wished for a destiny beyond even his own insight. I get it now. When Merenice shared that Popopi tale, I thought it was similar to our story. Someday I would have to return to Celestia, and Merenice was but a human. I believed I'd be the one to leave him behind, but much like the Cartachinu left the Popopi girl. But it was Merenice who journeyed to the stars. I couldn't stop him, knowing how deeply he wished to be free of his foresight. I mean, you can still go back to Celestia.
では、行ってまいります。
Yes.
リネット、どうかお元気で。
Merenice, you too.
ええ。いつか、また。
Who knew when that someday might be, but Merenice simply smiled in that familiar way. He acted as if he was just going out to buy donuts, like this was business as usual. He casually climbed the stairs one by one. Merenice glanced back one more time. I gazed back at him silently. Words escaped both of us. He turned away and continued his walk. Aw, the looking back, the longing. Soon he was out of sight. It all felt surreal to me. I still had a hope that I'd see him again someday. If I climbed up those steps again, I believed I might find Merenice, the fortune teller, once more. But I immediately knew that day would not come. Bethel Tower, the spaceship began its ascent to the sky. Swiftly reaching great heights, the spaceship with him aboard vanished into the night. Oh. A crop circle marked its departure. It was the only proof that Bethel Tower was once here. It was the only evidence that he had left. A sudden sharp pain pierced my heart and I clutched my chest. Why did it hurt so intensely? But this was the future Merenice desired most. If he met with the Cartachinu and journeyed to his ancestral planet, perhaps he wouldn't be burdened by seeing destinies anymore. This pain must be my imagination. I needed to believe that. Maybe Raoul would like it if I sent him a photo of this crop circle. The Parasite 5 remembers that I had to manage. It was my destiny as Cupid to lead them to marriage. Well, at least she's not going to get shot, right? I took a picture and then walked away from the crop circle. Dawn approached, the morning sun illuminating my path. There were no stars in the skies yet again.
じゃあ私、今日も泊まってくるから。
Sure.
ってほんと、あなた大丈夫？ずっと落ち込んでるけど。私と一緒に来る？
I'm fine. Aren't you heading out with Robin?
そうなんだけど。でもやっぱり、あなたが心配だし。
Yeah, no one wants to be a third wheel, though. Don't worry, I'll grab a bite before heading home.
なら、ギルとか呼んどく？
Should I call Gil? I know, Gil would happily oblige. No, I think I want to be alone right now. Thanks, Clarice. You don't need to worry about me.
そっか。わかった。じゃあ、行ってくるわ。
I watched Clarice walk away as I looked up at the night sky. Dazzling lights of Lost York often overshadowed the stars. Could he be somewhere distant, even beyond Celestia? Merenice, the man who could see destinies, the man whom I shared my first kiss. I felt a vibration from my smartphone. Assuming it was Clarice, I checked, but it was a text from Raoul. Opening the message, I gasped. He sent me a news article. Huh? There was a new wall painting discovered in Crunch Canyon. The wall painting showed the Popopi and the Cartagino living happily together. According to experts, it appears to be a very valuable painting dating back to hundreds of years. It depicts figures dancing together, which may be a representation of friendship. Experts continue to scour Crunch Canyon for more discoveries. Stay tuned for the updates. Huh? It wasn't raining, but water droplets dotted my phone screen. Realizing they were my tears, I felt their warmth on my cheeks. Aww. These tears trailed down, landing on the picture of the smiling Popopi and Cartagino. Oh, I see. My tears flowed from seeing the picture because it was the kind of future I had envisioned for us. I imagined myself as Cupid and Merenice as a human. A part of me hoped he would be smiling together like this. But that future was not meant to be, for Merenice had returned to the stars. Bye, Merenice. I bid him farewell as I gazed at the night sky. He was my first kiss, and he was probably my first love. I had come to understand love and also realized I had lost it at the same time. A shooting star fell across the sky. Though I knew this wish wouldn't come true, I wished to see Merenice again. Aww. That was so sad. I mean, I guess it's better than dying, though. I probably would just laughed because it's just random when you have bad endings where they just get shot and die. Sorry, I know it's a bit harsh, but I think a bad end where you feel sad and you cry is a good bad end. Anyway, let's go to the secret end. And we're going to say to Owen, instead of why didn't you stop it, we're talking about the scandal with Shelby. We're going to say it must have been rough. It must have been rough.
いえ、これも秘書の役目ですから。ですが、お心遣いありがとうございます。
何者かが私の単身者用のマンションを見つけてな。そのままの流れで見込んだとバレてしまったんだ。昨日記者会見で正式に公表したが、これまで愛妻家だと嘘をつき続けてきたせいで世間からの風当たりが強くてな。だからきちんと婚活を始めるようにと連絡があったんだ。
Advised by whom?
広告代理店の担当者ダフ氏からです。これからは婚活社長として売り出していくようにとのことでして。
だから担当をぜひ君にお願いしたいと思ってな。外れたばかりのところすまないが、再びパラサイト5の担当になってもらえないだろうか。
Don't mind, but wait, Parasite 5? Owen's secret. We're going down the Owen ending. A few days have passed since President Shelby's single status had been revealed.
じゃあ次、私行ってくるわ。
お願いね。
As bridal advisors, we were busy dealing with customers on a daily basis. After the president's scandal, many members scheduled extra marriage interviews while others were concerned and wanted to quit. On top of that, the Parasite 5 and Merenice are causing more problems. Yo couldn't stop talking about the one that got away and turned down everyone. Riki didn't even notice the other person was there. Ra only talked about this, while Ala repeatedly courted other people's lovers, leading to his membership being revoked again. Merenice continued to look for someone whose destiny he couldn't see. He stopped coming altogether. Even President Shelby, who was launching a marketing campaign about searching for love, was turning down all date offers. In the end, no one meets his criteria for prestige. Out of the Parasite 5, President Shelby was the one who declared his dedication to finding a partner, making his actions even more strange.
Chi?
And Chi's not being pursued. Noticing my size, Chi looked at me cautiously. I placed Chi down in front of me and got out of my seat. Anyway, there's going to be a seminar today. I have to make sure I learn something. I printed out the materials requested by the lecturer and headed to the seminar room.
あ、お疲れ様です。
I ran to Owen near the elevator. Hello, are you on your way to the president's office, Owen?
ええ、未婚騒動のせいで仕事量が増えて、おかげで休みが吹き飛びました。
Oh, that's terrible. Are you eating well?
ええ、まあ、これを。
Is it a jelly drink? Owen took out a jelly drink I was familiar with. I remember when Owen and President Shelby tried to plate the jelly drink back at Parasite House and pass it off as cooking. I knew that the president drank this all the time, but it seemed like Owen was starting to use it as a meal replacement. Is it difficult to find time to eat properly?
そうですね。休憩の時間もなかなか取れないですし、社長がそもそも休まないので。
Owen looked warily as he gulped down the jelly drink. It was obvious he was exhausted. The next time I meet with the president, I'll ask if he can reduce your workload. I think he's overworking you.
え？私について、あなたがですか？
Yes, it's quite obvious to me. The president can do everything himself, so he probably thinks that everyone else can too. That's why I think it's a good idea for me to talk to him. It will help if he can see an outsider's perspective.
ミラーさん。
They actually translated it to her last name. Oh my goodness. Probably because they actually said that, but still.
ありがとうございます。助かります。
Soon the elevator arrived on our floor. We both entered the elevator and I got off on the floor with the seminar room. Owen was on his way to the president's office on an upper floor. Owen bowed to me as the elevator door closed.
無理させすぎか。
I thought about what Mira said once the elevator closed and I was alone. It was a given that I, the president's secretary, would be busy. I was compensated well, and to be fair, the president was twice as busy. I had accepted that this was just how my job was. But she had expressed concern for me. She wanted to talk to the president for me.
彼女も自分の仕事で手一杯のはずなのに。
I'm sorry, but this music is usually played for like the endings where they're like, getting married and stuff. So the fact that it's played now is kind of amusing. I wasn't the only one who had extra work following the scandal about the president's marriage status. Every department had a lot to handle. We were all working diligently. On top of that, she was the managing advisor for the Parasite 5.
Parasite 5か。
Since the truth about the president's marriage status was public, I no longer needed to act as his representative for marriage interviews. Though it was a fortunate thing, I felt a bit melancholic for some strange reason. Perhaps it was because I would no longer have an excuse to meet with her again. Oh, have you been harboring any feelings this whole time?
面談といえば、そういえば大会手続きをするのを忘れていたな。
I not only worked here at Cupid Corp, but I was also a member. I used their matchmaking services, but I quit after a certain incident.
今回の騒動が一通り落ち着けば時間もできるだろうし、活動を再開させてみるか。いや、でも。
I glanced at the documents in my hands. Work was the priority. Personal matchmaking would have to wait. I tried to refocus on my task. The president needed to be in the seminar room in a few minutes. Since he no longer needed me to represent him, I felt a bit restless, as if I was getting left behind. I'm so tired. A few days later, I had to work late again today. I ended up staying at the office until the dead of night. Checking the clock, I sighed. Clarice must have been asleep by now. You're gonna run into Owen, aren't you? I got on the subway and sighed again. Who knew that there would be this many new members joining? After it was announced that the president was single, it caused quite a stir. There was a surge of new members at Cupid Corp thanks to that. Even with all these new members, the Parasite 5 still aren't engaged in their matchmaking. They seldom initiated requests for marriage interviews. Because of that, I mostly just left them alone.
もしかしてミラーさん？
I knew it. I looked up and saw Owen. Owen?
お疲れ様です。今帰りですか？
Yes, how about you, Owen?
いえ、実は飲み会に珍しく誘われまして、そこから帰るところだったんです。まさかあなたはこの時間まで働いていたのですか？
Unfortunately, yes. Because everything happened so suddenly, we were still understaffed. Our busy schedules would continue until the new membership slowed down. Well, as Cupid, I'm happy about the increase in new members.
大丈夫ですか？
Huh? What do you mean?
いえ、お疲れのようでしたので。
I'm alright. What about you?
はい。例の件も一段落しましたし。あ、そういえば社長にご相談してくださったんですね。社長からあなたにはっきりと的確に言われたと聞きました。あなたが言ってくださったおかげで私の仕事は随分楽になったんです。
After our meeting regarding the Parasite 5, I told the president that he'd been putting too much strain on Owen. He'd been multitasking when I told him, so I wasn't sure if he heard me. I was relieved to hear from Owen that he did. So he did listen. That's a relief.
しかし、今度はあなたの方がお忙しそうですね。大丈夫ですか？
Thank you for your concern, but I'll be fine. I think things will ease up in a week, so, or no, maybe two.
いや、それは結構大変というような気がしますが。せめて家までお送りしますよ。確か家は2番街でしたよね。
Huh? Yes, I do. But don't you live somewhere else?
ええ、まあ。でも、女性がお一人でこの時間に地下鉄に乗っているのは心配ですから。家の前までお送りいたします。
Owen didn't get off the subway until we arrived at 2nd Avenue.
では、私はここで。お疲れ様でした。
Thank you very much, Owen. The way he greets her and says goodbye, he's still treating her like a colleague, because I could tell in the words that they use. I had to look it up because I was reading Symphony Kiss, and they say it all the time for everything, and I was like, what does that even mean? And I realized that that's just how coworkers address each other, for multiple purposes and reasons, or multiple sayings, I guess. that was my first time to ever read like an office romance, so I had no idea.
いえ、当然のことをしただけです。おやすみなさい。また明日。
He walked me back home, then turned to leave. Where did Owen live again? We lived together in the share house before, but I didn't know anything about his personal life. Regardless, it was clear that he didn't live on 1st or 2nd Avenue. It seemed as if his commute was tough. He had to take the subway in the opposite direction to get home, but he still did all of this for me. I should thank him again tomorrow. I just wanted to remove my makeup, take a bath, and go straight to bed. I suppressed a yawn as I entered my home. From then on, Owen became notably considerate of me every single day. Oh, really?
お疲れ様です。その書類のシュレッダーでしたら、私がかけておきますよ。
Can I shred those documents for you? He's becoming your secretary now. That's so cute.
コーヒーとサンドイッチ買ってきましたから、せめて5分だけでも休んでください。
Shredding her documents, bringing her coffee and sandwiches.
サンドイッチはツナレタスとハムエッグです。お好きな方をお選びください。そっちの作業なら私でもできます。お手伝いしますよ。
This is so adorable. To her, I mean, if you didn't have any romantic feelings, like this could be like overwhelming, but I think it's so cute.
午後に開催されるセミナーの資料ですよね。20部印刷してセミナールームに並べておきます。
It's just flashback after flashback. With Owen's support, the hectic period had passed without much issue. A few weeks later, he just took it upon himself to become her secretary. You reduce my workload, so I'll help you with yours. Today I can finally have lunch on time. Work had eased up and I felt immensely relieved. Apart from the food Owen had brought, I'd mostly eaten protein bars and jelly drinks. Oh, really? I'd been craving a proper lunch. I was waiting for the elevator when I came across Owen once more.
あ、ミラーさん。お疲れ様です。お昼ですか？
Yes. Owen, yes, it's been a while since I had the time.
よかった。ようやく仕事も落ち着いたんですね。
Your help really made a difference. Thank you so much.
いえ、大したことはしていませんが。
You did help a lot. I appreciate it. I can finally take a day off tomorrow. Oh,
あさって
wait a note.
お休みなんですか？
Take a day off after tomorrow. Oh, day off. Yes. I nodded and Owen seemed intrigued. You want to come with? He looked like he wanted to say something, but then turned away awkwardly. Something wrong?
いえ、実は私もあさってお休みなんです。
You want to spend it together?
だからお時間をいただきたいと言いますか。
Owen fumbled over his words before glancing at me.
もしご都合が合うようであれば、あさって私とプライベートで会っていただけませんか？実は個別にご相談したいことがあるんです。
Why'd you just call it a date? You could do it. Go for it. Oh, that's what Owen says, so now we're going out for drinks. What do you think he wants to talk about? After I got home, I told Clarice about the conversation. Her eyes lit up. Of course they did.
休日のお誘い？そんなのデートに決まってるじゃない。
It didn't feel that way to me. He was stuttering. Like, why not? Of course it did.
でも最近ずっと彼に仕事手伝ってもらってたんでしょ？
Yeah, he often comes home to our floor to help out. I agreed to meet him mainly to show my gratitude.
わざわざフロアに来てねえ。となるとやっぱり彼、あなたのことが気になってるんじゃない？きっとプライベートでの相談なんてただの言い訳よ。あさってもデートのつもりで来ると思うわ。
Do you really think so?
絶対 いそうだって。いいじゃない彼、高級鳥でしょ。デートスポット全部回ったら。新しくなったラブのオブジェで記念撮影、ベッドールタワーに2人で登って、ショッピングモールでお揃いのアクセサリー購入。帰りにそのままダムールパラディ島あたりに行って泊まってきちゃいなさいよ。
She's not you, Clarence. We won't be doing any of that. Spending the night on our first date is too soon.
なんでよ。早い方がよくない？
Why would you want to hurry? No, Clarence, you never change.
人の人生は短いんだもの。楽しんでいかなきゃ損よ。
It's true that I will have to return to Celestia after my mission is done. I won't be here long as a human, so I should have some fun. But if I acted like Clarence, I would be like Lord Jupiter in the mist instead of Cupid. I know, right? I couldn't let those kinds of myths sully Cupid's name.
とにかく初恋もまだなんだから、デートぐらい楽しんできなさい。
A date, huh? Her words made me realize that I was a little anxious. What exactly did Owen want to discuss privately? His feelings? Today was the day I'd promised to meet with Owen. Owen revealed that he wanted to discuss his membership at Cupid Corp. You want to be a part of the matchmaking?
はい。実は私も CC の会員なんです。もう何年も活動はしていないんですが。
I thought he was going to discuss canceling it.
ですが、仕事にも余裕が出てきましたし、そろそろ活動を再開しようかなと思いまして。
Oh, so that's what he wanted to talk about. I felt relieved, but also slightly let down. I'm disappointed. I should be happy that more people want to get married. As Cupid, I should have been overjoyed by this news, yet it made me feel a little sad. Because Clarice had called this a date, I'd probably been subconsciously looking forward to it. No, it's just my imagination. I have to support Owen's matchmaking. I understand. Then allow me to support you.
ありがとうございます。どうしても他の方には頼みづらかったんです。
Owen breathed a sigh of relief. The expression he made caused another sting in my heart. The music just stops and goes, stops and goes.
ミラーさん、どうされましたか？
No, it's nothing. Then let's start by signing you up for some matchmaking parties. Oh, he had an issue with one of those. That's why he quit.
あ、すみません。少々トラウマがうずきまして。
I know, he's made fun of by Shelby. Wonder what happened. Could it be that you don't like attending the matchmaking parties?
そうですね。できれば避けたいです。
I just realized that my mic is turned all the way up. My goodness. Hopefully it hasn't been blaring the last hour and 40 minutes. Do you have any particular preference then, like someone who enjoys cooking?
好み。
Owen took a moment to think and placed a hand under his chin. I waited, but he didn't answer for a long while.
難しいですね。好みを考えるのは。
Let me rephrase them. What kind of married life do you want?
結婚生活。
Owen repeated the words as if he didn't know what they meant. He tilted his head, lost in thought. You're taking part in matchmaking because you want to get married, right?
一応そのつもりでいたのですが、そもそもなんで婚活を始めたんでしたっけ？
Is that where we have to start?
いえ、最初は確かに結婚したかったと思うんです。でもいろいろあって面倒になって放置してしまい。ですが放置状態が続くのは良くないですし、社長も婚活を再開されたので、私もいい加減向き合おうと思ったんです。 でも別にしなくてもいいのか。
Owen mumbled to himself as he considered his true thoughts about the matter. The food that we ordered arrived at that moment.
お待たせいたしました。
Pizza and fritters started filling up the table space. It all smells so delicious. Since the food's here, let's eat.
はい、そうですね。
Owen placed his thoughts on hold and started plating the food up for me. I've rarely seen anyone do this. It feels also new to me. Gil was the only person I knew who would do this for others. My other friends would just snatch whatever they wanted. Owen is really considerate. When doing matchmaking for him, I felt that I should try to find someone who was considerate as he was.
では、いただきます。
Yes, let's. It's delicious.
とても美味しいです。
After a bite, Owen seemed at ease.
なんだか新鮮だな、こういうの。
What do you mean?
いえ、なんと言いますか、仕事以外で誰かとご飯に行くことがなかったものですから。ましてや、1対1で食事をすることなんて何年ぶりだろうと思ってしまって、こういう店に入るのも久しぶりですよ。
Oh, really?
はい、一人ですとつい食事も適当になりますしね。スーパーでデリを買って終わらせてしまいます。なんだか学生時代を思い出します。
When Owen was a student, how was your school life?
いや、普通ですよ。はい。
He seemed so awkward to say that. His eyes wandered as he awkwardly took another bite. It seemed he had memories from his school life that he'd rather not discuss. Well, I wouldn't know how to explain if someone asked about my high school days. It wasn't like I could talk about Celestia, so I changed the subject. Then we talked about various other things.
この情報、ライバルが増えるので、あまり皆さんに教えたくないのですが、閉店近くになるとデリが 60% オフになるスーパーがあるんですよ。
That much? That's more than half off. Which supermarket is this?
会社の近くですよ。2ブロック先にある花屋を右に曲がるとすぐです。赤いクマの看板が目印です。
Oh, I think I've walked by it before. I'll have to check it out next time I work late. After a few drinks, Owen became quite talkative. He told me many things I didn't know. After talking about the supermarket, he brought up things about work that we typically avoid discussing with our coworkers.
そうなんですよ。本当にもういつもあれに困ってて。
It's so cute watching him loosen up like this. Right? You should really fix that part of the system.
本当ですよ。
We talked about work, daily life, our favorite foods, places to eat, and more. It's turned into a date. I completely forgot that the meeting was about his matchmaking and simply enjoyed our conversation. This is kind of fun. The things we talked about were topics I would never have discussed with Claris or my other coworkers. Perhaps because we were in different departments or because he was a man, I felt like it was easy to talk to him. Owen's quite funny. If he resumes matchmaking services, he'll find someone in no time. But he still seemed unsure why he was doing this in the first place. I wonder what sort of person he would prefer. I tried to imagine the perfect woman for Owen, but thinking it gave me some murky feelings. I wonder how long this is going to be. We're 2 hours into recording. We haven't even recorded the good end yet. The endings are so long. Afterwards, I started helping Owen with his matchmaking while keeping it a secret from my coworkers. Oh, really? He isn't calling me at all. Days had passed. We were struggling to decide on what direction to take regarding Owen's matchmaking. It seemed like he was still unsure whether he wanted to continue or end it altogether. There was no point in pressuring him, so I left him alone for a while, but I thought it was time to follow up. Maybe I'll email him before the end of the day. After sending my message, I received an immediate reply. From Owen, I will organize my thoughts and get back to you within a few days. He said that he would gather his thoughts and let me know in a few days. In other words, he still didn't know what he wanted to do. Other members had similar doubts before and tended to remain indecisive for half a year. I thought it best to just meet in person. I was on the early shift, so my work for the day was already done. I replied with a message to say that I understood. I started preparing to leave the office. What should I have for dinner? Since I got home before Claire's, grocery shopping was on me. I wonder what remained in our fridge. I thought about going to the supermarket that Owen had mentioned the other day when I suddenly noticed a flyer above my feet. Oh my goodness. Of course he's shirtless on the cover of the Gossip News. The secrets of the loving husband CEO. What does it say? Let's see. Based on the tip from an anonymous source, it had been revealed that he's actually single. It's been speculated that he lied for the sake of the company's profits. The people joined Cupid Corpse in hope and meeting somebody wonderful like Shelby Snell. Here are their feelings. Should we forgive him? A, of course not. Answer, of course not. I'm thinking of going after him. Until the whole truth is out, you shouldn't join CC. Oh my goodness. Wait. Caution, do not trust. A, he lied, don't trust him. He was never married to begin with. I'll bet his bad advice ruined some people's chances of getting married. Secrets revealed. The question, it seems like the CEO has been calling employees to his office. Should we forgive him? No, absolutely not. I'm sure many people suffered because of him. Oh my goodness, poor Shelby. Let me go back and reread this. Let me just read it from here. I picked up the flyer to see a gossip column that read, President of Cupid Corp is an L? An L. There's an article about Shelby.
ねえねえお姉さん、まさか CC に行くとこ？
何？そうだけど。
やめた方がいいっすよ。俺ここの婚活会社でひどい目に遭いましたもん。
Why is the person named Thug One? Like, you wouldn't think a thug would have enough money to go to a marriage agency.
そうそう、俺も。ほら、こないだだって愛妻家社長って嘘ついてたじゃないっすか。ここのサービスも嘘ばっかでさ。
別にサービス悪いと思わないけど。
そりゃ成婚してないからっすよ。ここ成婚料にめっちゃ金取られるってんでマジ詐欺なんすよ。
嘘？本当？
ほらこのレビュー見てくださいよ。本当でしょ？
本当だ。
Who are these people? Their claims about the marriage fees were false. It was clearly an attempt to tarnish our reputation. I have to report this to the police. Rather than confront them, I decided to contact the police and reached for my phone. Before I could make the call, they spotted me.
おい、あんた今何しようとしたんだ？
What is it to you? Huh? Nothing.
あんた、ここの社員だろ。見られたからには容赦しねえ。ちょっとこっちに来な。
I was going to come to her rescue. Huh? Suddenly he grabbed my arm. I feared the situation would escalate, but somebody suddenly appeared and shook me free.
ミラーさん、彼女に何をするんですか？
Yeah. Owen. Owen was the one who came to my rescue. His hair looked slightly messy, probably from rushing over. He positioned himself between me and the others to shield me from harm, or from them.
彼女に手を出したら許しません。
Don't lay a finger on her.
社長の飼い犬め。許さないってどうするつもりだ？
しかるべき手段を取ります。あなたたちはロミジュリーウェディングの人でしょう。
Well, there you go, that makes more sense. Roman Julie wedding. When that name was mentioned, the men hesitated and glanced at each other before backing away. That was the name of the marriage agency that recently opened up on 7th Avenue.
何言ってるかわかんねえな。変な言いがかりしてくるならこっちも容赦しねえからな。
These thugs stood their grounds. However, Owen didn't back down.
そんな脅しをしても無駄です。さっさと帰ってください。いつまでもここにいられたら迷惑です。それと後ほど正式に抗議させていただきます。以前私にあった引き抜きのお話の件も含め上に報告させていただきますので。
Headhunting.
ええ、実は以前引き抜きの勧誘を受けたんです。 CC より良い待遇を約束すると。
I like how they tie in the old game history with this game. it makes you feel like it's still a part of the old timeline.
でもその代わりに CC の機密情報を横流ししてほしいと言われたので断ったんです。私も犯罪は嫌ですから。その話の時部屋の奥に彼らもいたのを覚えています。彼らがいるのはそのような悪質な会社なんですよ。
Owen's intense glare made the two men uneasy. So that's why they called Owen the president's lapdog.
めんどくせえな。でもあの時社長に不満があるって言ってたじゃねえか。
確かに不満はありましたよ。でももうありません。彼女が動いてくれたおかげで改善されましたから。あなた方の手先にはなりません。私は CC のために働くと決めたんです。
Owen made his position clear. I couldn't help but admire him. He received an offer from Roman Julie Wedding but turned it down. He chose Cupid Corp over them.
立ち退かないようであれば仕方ありません。すぐに通報を。
くそ、させるか。
The man smacked Owen's phone out of his hand. My goodness. Oh. Uh-oh. The company's phone hit the pavement, its screen shattering. The company? Owen's company phone. Okay. After seeing his broken phone, Owen's demeanor completely shifted.
は？何してんだよ。
Oh my goodness. He turned all bad guy mode. He turned all I'm gonna beat your face in mode.
んだよ。てめえが通報しようとしたのが悪いんじゃねえか。
んだと？
Is that all he says?
凄んでも無駄だぜ。そんなひょろいなりで俺らとやり合おうってのか。
おお、そうだそうだ。インテリな坊ちゃんは引っ込んでる。
あ？なめてんのかこら。
What?
は？
Owen seized one of the men by the collar and glared at him intently.
誰がインテリだって？俺がんな脅しで屈するとでも思ってんのかよ。
I swear, the way he's talking makes him sound like a gang member.
てめえ、やろうってのか？
The men grabbed Owen's collar too, but Owen didn't flinch one bit. As Owen tightened his grip, the men grew increasingly hostile.
一回ボコさねえとならないみてえだな。てめえみたいな男が俺らにかなうと思うんじゃねえよ。
上等だ。相手してやるよ。
どうせ内心ビビってんだろ。無理すんじゃねえよっと。
Does he look like he's scared? Oh my goodness. The man swung at Owen, but he easily dodged and retaliated with a punch. The man flew backwards and the other lunged at Owen.
てめえやりやがったな。
やれ、やっちまえ。
先にふっかけてきたのはてめえだろうが。
I'm sorry, but the president's secretary is like this timid scene. The timid Owen turn all tough guy and punching thugs is really funny. Owen caught the punch thrown at him and he countered with a kick to the man's side.
おら。遅えよ。
What is going on? No, right? I don't know either. I just can't. A fight unfolded before me. My mind froze. Owen was holding his own against the hoodlums, but yet against Shelby. Like, he had a gun pointed at Shelby. I guess because he wasn't angry. Like, he didn't really want to go and get Shelby. He was manipulated. But as soon as Shelby pulled a gun on him and shot the gun out of his hand, Owen just went all, submissive. Here he's like fighting them.
この程度で俺に喧嘩売ろうなんてな。100年早いんだよ。
No, wait. Owen's winning?
くせえ、こいつ強えぞ。
おい、一体引くぞ。
あ？逃げんのか？
The way he says that. He's like, you're not going anywhere.
うっせえ、くそ覚えてるよ。
Are you a gangster in your old life, Owen? Owen scoffed at the two thugs as they fled.
喧嘩売るなら相手見ろよ。だらしねえ野郎だ。
He seems like a totally different person. After cracking his knuckles, Owen turned around and realized that I was still there. ... We're still staring at each other. Are you calm now? Are we back to timid Owen?
今のは見なかったことにしていただけると。
I say timid Owen. Polite Owen is more like it. Because he was speaking extremely informally during all of that. Wait. That would be impossible. Owen crouched down with his head between his hands.
ああ、やってしまった。
Owen looked meek and depressed, a stark contrast to his demeanor during the fight. Owen, you're a pretty good fighter.
いや、その昔の名残と言いますか。
I knew it. You were a gangster in your old life. Your past.
実は学生時代は荒れてて喧嘩ばっかしてたんです。
Really? You don't seem like that kind of person now.
卒業したら変わろうと思ってイメチェンを頑張ったんですよ。もともとはブリーチで髪色も抜いてたんですが、就職を機に暗く染め直しました。髪も伸びたおかげでほとんどは地毛に戻っているんですが、毛先だけはどうしても色が抜けてしまって、その部分に別のカラーを入れてなんとか仕事の時にも差し支えないようにはしてますが、なかなか戻りませんね。
The color of his hair is because he's bleached it in the past. Because the colors were natural, I didn't notice at all. So I discovered that Owen got into a lot of fights in the past. It was hard to imagine given the way he was now.
驚かせてしまいすみません。だからあの頃の癖が出ないようにと敬語を使っていたのですが、結局昔の癖は抜けませんね。見よう見まねで立派な社会人らしく振る舞っていたのですが、実は このせいで婚活もうまくいかなくて一度やめてしまったんです。ほふく前進かっこいいと思ってたんですが。
Commando crawl? I know, what is that?
実はマッチングパーティーに出た時に男らしい人が好きだっていう女性がいたのでほふく前進をしたんです。
And that's when Shelby made fun of him.
ほふく前進は強い男の証ですから。
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
そしたら会場中の人に笑われて女の人にはドン引きされてしまって、さらにこうでも変とか言われたんです。そこでようやく私はこれまでの自分が一般的でないと気がついたんです。なのでスーツ以外は着ないと心に決めましたし、変な言葉遣いも出ないように気をつけました。でもいつ失敗するかわからなくて、おかげで婚活が怖くなりました。それでももう一度頑張ろうって思ったんです。
I said Shelby made fun of him, but Shelby got wind of it and he said something like he would never do something like that at a matchmaking party in front of Owen, and that's when Owen decided to betray the company. He was hurt by his president and manipulated by Mars.
でも結局自分は変われていなかった。だから多分こんな自分には婚活なんて無理なんですよ。
She'll like you for who you are.
やっぱり婚活はやめることにします。すみませんミラーさん、相談にも乗っていただいたのにこんな低たらくで。ごめんなさい。私のことはもうタンブルウィードか何かだと思っていただければ。
Tumbleweed? That's so, like, that's so sad. So melancholy. It's a little stick flying by. A tumbleweed. I thought that's what the rolling ball of hay was called in those Wild West movies. It's true. I think it's okay to be yourself, Owen.
Eh?
Who cares if you're different? It makes you unique.
ですが、あなたを怖がらせてしまったのでは。
No, I wasn't scared at all. I was surprised to see how strong you are, though. Actually, I'm relieved you came to help. If you hadn't stepped in, things might have gotten a lot worse. Thank you for saving me, Owen. Aww, he's so cute when he blushes. Owen gasped and hobbled backwards. He covered his face with both of his hands so I couldn't see his expression.
好きです。
Oh? Huh? I know, that was all of a sudden. He surprised even himself. Owen's face turned bright red. He started to panic as he realized he had blurted that out.
いえ、すみません、口が滑りました。いや、でも今のは嘘というわけではなく、本心で、ただ予定していたシチュエーションではなく。
I heard his little mumble, but it's not a lie. So cute.
すみません。ここじゃ人目もありますし、仕切り直します。来てください。
Huh? I grabbed my hand and started running. He's so confused. We're gonna go to Bethel Tower. He took me to the nearby Bethel Tower. I remember that Clarice had mentioned this building as a popular date spot. It was a major tourist attraction and date destination in Lost York. Setting sun had cast a beautiful golden hue upon Bethel Tower. That scenery as our backdrop, Owen turned to face me. He took a deep breath and spoke.
ミラーさん、私と付き合ってくれませんか？
Owen. I'd expected this, given the sudden confession he blurted out earlier, but hearing it again made me blush.
あなたが初めてなんです。こうして私が普通に話せた女性は。
Really?
はい。学生時代は喧嘩に明け暮れていたせいで女性と話す機会があまりなくて、その上あのほふ前進をやらかしてから女性と話すのが怖くなってしまって、なるべく話さないように過ごしていたんです。いえ、もちろん仕事でなら大丈夫ですよ。ですが付き合うとなるとまたやらかすんじゃないかという恐怖が勝って、だから婚活から逃げてきました。仕事も忙しかったですし、でもそうしている間にシェルビー社長の代理まで始まってしまって、代理業務でますます結婚への恐怖が増しました。
Man, being put in that position must have been extremely, like, not traumatizing, but extremely nerve-wracking after everything he's went through. Huh? Why?
だって社長が結婚されたら私が仲介をする羽目になりそうだったんですよ。しかもそれでいいと話す女性が多くて、別に私と結婚したいわけではない。社長の地位を手に入れつつ私と結婚するならお得だなんて言われたらさすがにへこみますよ。
I kind of remember that happening. Some women were fine with the idea of marrying the president with Owen as the representative. Now that he mentioned it, those women never had affection for Owen. Their focus was always on the president's status.
正直自分の価値が何なのか全くわからなくなりました。結局やはり皆さん地位なのかと。確かに私は金も地位も名声も持っていません。社長と比べると普通なのもわかるんです。でも実際に言われるとへこむと言いますか。とにかくそんなことばかりで誰かと付き合いたいという気持ちもなくなりかけていたんです。あの日までは。
Owen smiled slightly, a glimmer of hope sparkled in his eyes.
あなたと二人きりで話したあの日、久しぶりに楽しいという気持ちを思い出しました。私に誰かと時間を分かち合う喜びをあなたが思い出させてくれたんです。
He gently held my hand with his.
先日相談に乗っていただいた時、すごく楽しかったんですよ。あなたと話せる時間が幸せだった。一緒に過ごせると嬉しかったんです。そしてあなたは私の失態を見ても軽蔑しなかった。変わらなかったんです。あなたの優しさに私は救われたんです。ミラーさん、どうか私の恋人になってください。
Owen, I didn't exactly know how to be someone's girlfriend. Though I was a god of romance who helped others fall in love, I had never fallen in love myself. Hearing Owen's honest feelings, I gathered the courage to tell him the truth. Owen.
何ですか？
I'm very happy and flattered, but I've never dated anyone before. I don't really know what it means to date. Are you okay with that?
もちろんです。あなたと恋人になれる以上に嬉しいことはありませんから。
Also, I'm still really busy with work. My promotion is still my main goal. I don't want to disappoint you.
そんなことありません。でも、もしあなたが不安だと思うなら、使用期間も設けましょう。
trial period. trial period.
はい。お試しで付き合うので大丈夫。という意味です。
Test run and dating.
もちろん、あなたの昇格したいという気持ちも尊重します。そのために私も仕事を手伝いますよ。 ほら、それに私と付き合う経験も仕事に役立つかもしれませんよ。
That's true. I just realized earlier that I was the god of romance who had never fallen in love. But the idea of doing a trial run as Cupid seemed odd.
私はあなたにそばにいてほしいんです。あなたと一緒に過ごしていきたい。だからどうか付き合ってください。
Owen looked at me expectantly with passion in his gaze. In those eyes, there was something beyond just romantic feelings. If I turned him down, he might become even more afraid of relationships. I didn't want to take away the joy of being in love from him. Besides, I had fun when I was around him. I felt a little sad when I found out he asked me for help to find a marriage partner. It was apparent that my desire to not abandon him was real. If he grew more confident from this relationship, maybe he'd feel the same about someone he'd meet in the future. Perhaps this trial would benefit humanity if I learned something about love before I return to Celestia. I understand. In that case, Owen, let's try.
本当ですか？本当に私と付き合ってもらえるんですか？
He's so happy. Yes, oh, but if you do fall for someone else... Before I could finish, his lips interrupted mine. Goodness, huh? I suddenly realized what had happened. Owen had kissed me. I was like, please, CG, yes. Oh, this makes me so happy. This is so much better than Merenice's read. I'm sorry. Like, just this ending alone. Should I put this as the screenshot for Merenice's ends? Because that would be funny. Merenice's endings. What is Owen doing kissing her? It was so sudden and without warning. I didn't think it was the right time. He moved so quickly that I was startled by it.
ミラーさん、いえ、リネット、きっとあなたを幸せにしてみせますから。
Man, he is hopelessly in love with her. That sounded like a confession, like a marriage confession. He whispered the sweet words to me and kissed me again. He lifted my face, but I had to stand on my toes because he was so tall. Goodness. That was the first time I realized our height difference. He was so much taller and so different from me. He feared love and always ran from it. He was so awkward that he'd done a commando crawl during a matchmaking event. He had been forced to be the president's rep for matchmaking. He was always stressed, but now he was more optimistic about love. That was something that I, as Cupid, should have been happy about, so I accepted his kiss.
ようやく私にも恋ができました。
The words he whispered were filled with joy. The evening breeze fluttered in his hair. Owen smiled happily as he held me close.
おや？運命の相手は
The fateful partner this time? That sounded like Merenice. I heard a distant murmur. I thought I saw someone tilting their head while looking through the hole of a donut. Why was it in orange? Whatever, it's fine. Owen in thin. You know, I should probably... I mean, Zeus's is only 6 minutes, but Owen's is like half an hour. Like, so long. Actually, is it longer than half an hour? Oh my goodness, how long was Owen's? I wasn't even paying attention. It's 2.5 hours almost. And we haven't even done the good ending yet. This episode is going to be so long. I'm not going to separate it though. Like, I could make Zeus and Owen separate, but at this point, I think I'm just going to go for it. Because I'd have to make a whole separate intro into that, and I don't know if I want to. Also, everything I said like during the screenshot about making it CG of the previous episode, I don't know. We're just gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it together. It's gonna be like a 3-hour video. My goodness. Okay. Now we're gonna go back to save file 2, which was this one. Pretty sure. Oh wait, did we made a save file, right? Okay, we're gonna go to the save file. And then we're gonna ask him a question, and then this will go to the good end. Merenice.
どうしましたか?
Have you ever won big at a casino?
いえ、ありません。私一人では運命を変えられませんでしたから。
See, we've already seen all this, so I'm gonna fast forward until we get to the good end. Okay, good ending. Star Popopi Wars. What? Oh, this game, man.
宇宙に私と同じ力を持つ精霊が、カラチヌがいる。
I think Merenice's route has been the most bizarre and strange route out of the whole entire game. Anyway, let's see how far until we get... I guess we can't skip red. Okay. I want to go until we find something new though. Okay, it wasn't too far. Now that you mentioned it, it would be tough for Merenice to continue on like this here on Earth. Would it be better for him to join the Popopi and their space voyage back home? Outer space, the planet Carticino, and the spaceship. Suddenly, the opening scene from one of my beloved movies came to mind. Oh, now I'm getting excited. Oh my goodness. This is before she got kissed too. She hasn't kissed him yet, so she's still a god. A long time ago, in some galaxy out there.
Rinetto?
We're going to start off with talking about space, Star Wars now. Seeing my eyes glitter with anticipation, Merenice tilted his head in confusion. Like a lost prince, his route slides somewhere out among the stars. My heart ached to see what his home planet was like. Alright, then I'll go with you. There we go. I knew this was going to happen to one of them.
え? あなたもですか?
Yes, how often do people ever get to go to outer space? Can I come?
いえ、ダメではないですし、私としてはもちろん嬉しいですが。
Then let's go to planet Carticino together. I'm actually going to go ahead and make a post about tonight's video. It's not going to get posted because it's so freaking long. Anyway. Alright. Merenice and I rushed to Bethel Tower and went directly to the cockpit on the top floor.
お待たせいたしました。
メレニス様！
メレニス様が来てくれまピタ。
You know, if I would have known how good Owen's ending was, I probably would have saved it till last. Probably what I should have done, but this is the Merenice's route, not Owen's, so we're ending on a Merenice good ending. The Popopi jumped with joy. Seeing them so happy made me feel that this was the right choice. Our unknown destiny was leading us to outer space. I wondered what kind of place awaited us.
すごい。本当に宇宙船ですね。これをポポピーたちが作ったのですか?
はい。何年もかけて作っておいたものを設置したのです。今年はカラチヌの星が近づく年でしたから。
星が近づくのはもういよいよです。それではメレニス様、操縦席にお座りください。このクリスタルに触れれば起動できます。
一つお願いがあるのですが、彼女も一緒に行ってよろしいですか?
もちろんです。むしろ嬉しいのです。
You prefer it, huh?
ぜひぜひそちらのお席にお座りください。
Thank you, everyone. I settled onto a seat in the cockpit and fastened my seatbelt. Soon after, I heard the sound of gunfire. Oh my goodness.
メレニス様、ギャングが追ってきてます。急いで起動をさせてください。
エリア52の調査員も来てます。
わかりました。それでは皆さん、行きますよ。
Merenice placed his hand over the crystal. The crystal began to glimmer, and I heard what sounded like an engine starting. The entire Bethel tower glowed and vibrated, and then it lifted off.
Oh!
Wow, it's really taken off. Like a rocket I've seen in movies, the spaceship rose from the ground. Then, he soared beyond the atmosphere.
エリア52とはもうおさらばなのです。
やりましたメレニス様。
王子様万歳。
無事に飛び立てましたね。
Merenice leaned back in his seat, looking exhausted from activating the spaceship. I gazed out the window, mesmerized by the view. Wow, this is incredible. We're actually in space.
あなたという人は本当に何でも楽しんでしまえるのですね。
As this is my first time seeing this. Celestia was high above Earth's sky, so high that humans could never reach it, but it was still below outer space, which means that this was genuinely my first time in space. Interstellar travel, huh? I wonder what planet Cartagena looks like. I'm so excited. I felt I was forgetting something important, but my excitement took over all of my thoughts. Oh. The spaceship's warning siren suddenly blared. Ah.
何があったのですか？
大変なのです。何者かが追ってきています。
In space? I know, right?
まさか追っ手が宇宙船まで出してきたのですか？
Wow, they're so persistent that they would follow you into space. Goodness.
いえ、宇宙船ではありません。人型の何者かです。
Is it a god? A humanoid? Curious, I looked out the window. Chasing us was Dad. Dad!
Cupid!
It's so funny. This game never ceases to surprise me. This is going to... I thought maybe Jupiter, Zeus... I mean, I should have thought about her dad.
お父様？あれがあなたのお父様なのですか？
Yes, my dad is Mars, the god of war. He's, well, a god.
宇宙にまで家出するだなんて聞いてないぞ。待て、待つのだ、キューピッド。
どうするのです？
撃ち落とすのです。
Shoot him down. What? The Popopi positioned themselves at the control panel and a beam was fired straight at Dad. Oh my goodness, they really are firing. Wait, the ship has lasers.
それより外は真空なのでは？神とは宇宙空間でも生きられるのですか？
Apparently, it seems so. I never witnessed it, but given how Dad was maneuvering before us, it appears gods could exist in vacuums. The notion of him speaking in space contradicted several laws of physics. Then again, he was part of the dicostants. For them, anything goes. Come to think of it, the universe itself birthed gods like Lord Jupiter. Initially, chaos reigned. From that chaos emerged Gaia, the Earth goddess, who birthed her consort, sky goddess Uranus. After Uranus and Gaia created mountains, trees, birds, flowers, animals, and stars. So even space could be home for gods.
あれ？というか、他にも飛んできている神がいるようですが。
Is it Venus? Huh? Hearing out, not only did I see Dad, but Auntie was flying after us as well. I don't understand what is going on. Hey, Minerva, why? I wonder why they came after me. It was one thing for my dad to chase me around, but why Auntie? I know, right? As I sat there puzzled, Auntie dropped a bombshell.
お願い、キューちゃん、彼とキスをして。
Kiss him and give us back your arrow and bow. Why?
キューピッドがシングをつけたまま地球からいなくなったらキューピッドがいなくなるだろう。
That makes sense. Oh. Cupid's divine artifact, the golden and leaded arrows. Instinctively, I reached to touch them. Yes, this was the nagging concern I'd brushed aside. If I had left for outer space, Earth would be left without a Cupid. Lady Minerva, what should I do?
大丈夫よ、安心してちょうだい。キューピッドは恋をしてキスをすれば人間になってキューピッドじゃなくなるから。
So loud. Huh? Really?
ええ、次のキューピッドが生まれるわ。だからキスして。
Bye. They're shooting them down.
やった、命中なのです。
Oh my goodness. Wait, why are they still firing?
当ててしまいましたね。
He's uncertain. The Popopi were far more ruthless than I imagined, yet Auntie wouldn't be deterred so easily. Even after being struck by the beam, she continued flying, urging me from a distance to seal the deal with a kiss.
キューちゃん、お願いだから。
Oh my goodness, you're so loud. What do I do? As I hesitated, I noticed Merenice unbuckling his seatbelt. Well, obviously, he's like, come kiss me. He looked at my face and smiled.
では、失礼しますね。
Aw, why are you excusing yourself before the kiss? You guys are in love. You could kiss her, huh? Merenice kissed me lightly on the lips. After a soft, brief contact, he pulled back.
地球からキューピッドを連れ去った責任が私にあるようですから。
The Popopi behind us were covering their faces with both hands. That's so cute.
キャーピーなのです。
I suddenly felt myself blush, knowing that they saw us kiss. Wait.
あれ?
Despite our kiss, my Cupid's arrow remained intact. It makes sense, I suppose. We've kissed several times before, and Cupid's arrow didn't come off then either.
これで外れるはずなのですよね。でも特に何も起きませんね。どうしてでしょう。
She has to realize she's in love first. Could it be I'm not truly in love?
あ。
Oh.
一緒に宇宙まで行く中でそれはないわよ。
Auntie's voice faded as she struggled to match our spaceship's pace. Dad had managed to cling onto the spaceship, but eventually he was shaken off too. Thus, with my Cupid's arrow still attached, I ventured into a different galaxy. Can you imagine, like, maybe I'm not in love with you, and he's like, you're not. In another sky far, far away, we kissed yet again today. Oh my goodness. We kissed to see if I was in love here on this planet that wasn't Earth. Oh, that's so beautiful. Oh, I love it so much. I think it's gonna be my new desktop background. It's so pretty. Flying away, Merenice looked deeply into my eyes. My Cupid's arrow, however, remained. Months have flown by since we landed on planet Caractachino. We toured the planet and made friends with the local Caractachino and Popopi. We also kept a daily kissing routine. But no matter how often we kissed, the Cupid's arrow refused to part from me.
リネット、本当にキスが上手になりましたね。
Really?
ええ、とても官能的で刺激的です。 それなのにまだキューピッドの矢は外れません。あなたは本当に手強いですね。
It's like he's taken on the challenge to make her fall in love. I'm so sorry. I believed I had feelings for you, Merenice.
分かっていますよ。私もあなたの愛を感じますから。でもそれが恋じゃないだけかもしれませんね。
That seems a little weird. How can you like talk like this and kiss each other like this and it not be romantic? So it's not romantic.
世界には恋以外の愛情もあるでしょ。
He's right about that. Is he though?
でも安心してください。必ずあなたに恋をさせてみせますから。私も男として悔しいですからね。
Hold me close by the waist and we kiss deeply once more. A sweet, passionate, and stimulating kiss. Wait.
待ちませんよ。
いや。
こんな星の彼方まで一緒に来たあなたは私の唯一のつがいですから。いつか振り向かせてみせますよ。
I'm going to keep showering you with affection until you have no choice but to say that you're in love. He smiled sensually, vowing to make me fall for him. Merenice began to savor my body. Goodness. I often wondered how I might fall in love to shed the Cupid's arrow. Would his passion wane once that happened? Aww. I can't wait for that day.
ええ、覚悟をしていてくださいね。
Every day we reveled in kisses and more intimate moments. We held hands, eagerly awaiting the day I'd truly understand love.
愛しています、リネット。
I love you too, Merenice. Though we professed our love, my Cupid's arrow remained. While my heart constantly fluttered, I couldn't call these emotions love yet. What would real love feel like then? He thought about our beloved planet that was somewhere out there in the sky. Closing my eyes, I prayed humanity wouldn't forget love, even in Cupid's absence. It's so strange. Like, she's not in love. Like, she's totally in love. I don't understand. I don't know why the game script artist decided to say that she's not. I mean, they want her to have the Cupid's bow forever, I guess. I don't know. Okay, well that's the end of Merenice. Almost 3 hours later. I say 3 hours later, but you know what? There we go. Now I could talk without this song interrupting my thinking process. There was a few times where I left it recording to drink water and stuff and didn't pause it. So there's going to be a lot of cutting now. So it'll probably be like 2 hours, 40 minutes maybe, but still. That's a really long episode for the endings. And I'm sorry to say, I think I enjoyed Owen's so much more than Merenice's thing altogether. But I did like the endings. I liked the way that he sweet talks her in the good ending. Like, I'm just a sucker for romantic talk like that. I think it's adorable. And he's made it his own personal challenge as a man to get her to fall in love. And then how he whispers to her in the happy ending. Like, I like those moments. Those particular moments of Merenice were the best. Other than that, like, he was kind of a monotone character throughout the whole thing. Like, he didn't think for himself. He didn't have any climactic points in his speaking until the very last episode, or second to last episode, when she's like in danger, and then he gets emotional all of a sudden. So he was he was emotionless throughout the whole thing, except for the one brief moment where they had that intimate moment in the camper. That's the only time where his voice like changed. So can't say Merenice is a favorite. The Popopi is just an added distraction to the ending, the route in general, to the ending, because they didn't show up until the last episode anyway. Like him going back to his planet, sure, but like there was so much Popopi lore interaction that it just felt like it overshadowed, I want to say romantic parts, but it overshadowed the relationship as a whole. And I was told by a YouTuber who is like, this is like her favorite game, that you don't buy this for the sweet lovey-dovey romance. You buy this because of the chaotic, what the heck moments that the scriptwriters decide to put into this game. And I have seen it in full shine in Merenice's route. I thought that Gills was insane with Iron Man and all that, but this one, Owen just turning off thug mode and beating up people. I just can't. I was gonna say I'm kind of hesitant to read Jupiter's, but Jupiter's not even next. Ral is next, and I'm hoping that I'm hoping for a more normal-ish route, but it's Ral, and he does paint ration, and he's a movie star, and he's mythology crazy, so it's probably not going to be normal at all. So enough rambling. I've rambled for like 4 minutes already. So if you guys did enjoy, drop a like down below and or subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.